$54.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Ironhide Construction is a Nebraska-based general contracting and steel construction firm. Their expert team is experienced in building innovative construction solutions across several industries. While they were previously known for their extensive experience in steel erection and metal buildings, they've continued to evolve over the last several years into a full-service general contracting firm. They take pride in their commitment to quality, cutting-edge technology, and having a passion for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Right, Matt Rule wants to be there. He wants to develop them. He wants to have coaches that have their hands on, are molding them and shaping them. And to your point, giving them the drills, giving them the tools to succeed. But I think Matt Rule is saying at the end of the day, the coaches can't want it more than the players.
Yeah.
The coaches can't hold their hand on the field.
Yeah, they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
That it is. Welcome to a Friday edition of On the Block. I'm Austin Norman with you at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Stricky remote because there's big things coming for him next week. We'll give him a sec to share anything he wants about that here in just a sec. But we want to thank NEBCO, sponsor of our show. NEBCO's operations span the state of Nebraska and supply the construction industry with the materials needed to construct buildings, streets, and highways. NEBCO has been in business since 1908. They're a fourth-generation family-owned and operated business with over 1,200 employees and 26 companies throughout Nebraska. Stricky, how you feeling? Tell people what's coming up for you next week.
Wow. It's kind of crazy. It's a beautiful honor that, my mom was really excited. She started when they gave me a plaque last year for just being a part of the introductory of the changes and the things that are going on in the community, and being from there and just some of the relationships that I built and done and relatives. And it was just really good to get back and see all of them. And then, going to go meet the mayor, and I don't know but this is what mom tells me, and I listen to mom. You know, I'm a mom's boy. They said, you know, they want to have a Eric Strickland Day, and so I'm going to go meet the mayor and do all those little ceremonial things. I'm just honored and overwhelmed because, you know, you don't ever think about I don't think about things like that. Just I like to be in the background. Like I say, if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't even be in the foreground. You know, you might see me pop out or, you know, do a little something with a camp or something, or helping out, doing something in back of my school or something like that. But this has kind of helped me to kind of branch out, and so I'm honored, man. It's just it's kind of an overwhelming little thing, you know, to go back to your hometown and them think of you this way.
I know you don't want to be picky, but you couldn't have asked him to push it back a couple weeks and make your day fall on the 20th or the 21st?
To fall on that day, right? Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what day it actually is. So next week, then you know what, that could have been pretty cool. Well, it does fall on one of my number days, so it'll work. My football number was 6. So when I played at Bellevue West, where it all started, where, you know, outside of the basketball realm, where my name started to have a little bit of oomph to it, was the 1-2 connection that WTF has created with Clester and I, man. And it's we're still longtime friends, but that's where it first started as far as that. So it is a number, at least, that is affiliated with me over the course of my sports career.
Hey, well, I'm proud of you. We're proud of you back
Thanks,
here
man.
at Florida. Congratulations for that. That is awesome. We'll miss you here, but a well-deserved honor for you. You're going to be on the road, but starting today, Stricky, the Big Ten officially has 4 new schools involved. We've talked about it dating back to really last year when these wheels started rolling. Of the 4 schools, Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA, which one of those schools, just on the whole, are you most excited to see as a member of the Big Ten Conference?
You get to see them from afar. You get to you know the history, you know the controversy, being that there were people connected to this fine institution. But it's yeah, I'd probably say the USC Trojans, man, would be one that I would love to go back to the Coliseum and watch them play, and against the Huskers. That would be just absolutely dope. Then 1A and 1B would be then Oregon for me as well. Just, you don't know what uniforms they're going to come in on. They're very swaggadocious type of team. A lot of running fun. You know what I mean? Speed. So there's that movie from the was it Race Cars? Speed McQueen or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Cars. Yeah, Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, man, Lightning McQueen, man. That's what I get. That's what I think about with Oregon. Just a bunch of speed and lightning and running all over the place, and a lot of deep balls, and yeah. So defense not very good, but over the course of the years, they do all right. But, yeah.
They're getting better. Their defense is better than USC's.
Yeah, for sure on that, Austin. No question. USC has been very dismal. I mean, they probably could have had a natty or so, or if their defense would have been better. Their offense has always been great, but their defense is just. Yeah.
Washington, I think, is kind of that middle of the road addition that I don't say was holding on for dear life, is lucky to be here. I think there's a lot of good stuff Washington can bring, but let's put your basketball brain to work here, Strick. What does it mean for Big Ten basketball that it adds a legit, no questions asked blue blood in UCLA to Big Ten basketball's roster?
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. And I've got a chance to work out and play down at Poly Pavilion and on campus regularly when we would go there to train. And just I'm telling you, just history, man. You just historic programs all across the board. I mean, like, I'm really interested if Nebraska would add a sport, because those schools have men's volleyball. like, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, add a men's volleyball team, being that you're going to have those teams that still have, I don't know what they're going to do with them, but right now they still have them. So I'd like to see if they would add, I don't know, with Title IX, maybe not, but it may be kind of weird, because then there may be another edition of another sport to complement that, and then it just gets hectic. So budgets are already crazy as it is, right, Austin? Would you agree?
Always have been and always will be, but especially in a day and age of college athletics, really, where the numbers are growing every year, right? I mean, that's the sign of a healthy business and model if the numbers are growing every year. But the amount that they've grown, even in the last 10 or 15 years, compared to the 10 or 15 years before that, is absolutely nuts, absolutely off the charts. But to be honest, Strick, I don't think any 4 of those institutions will have any trouble with the money aspect of it, right? I mean, Washington up there where it's sitting in Seattle. I mean, I know we don't hear about a lot of, Microsoft involvement, but there's a lot of tech, up there in Seattle. Say what you will about the city, but it's still a major American city that knows how money works. Oregon has plenty of experience with money from Phil Knight, and now they get a huge cash infusion as well. And obviously UCLA and USC with the types of schools that they are, what admission looks like there. Oh, and by the way, they're both in Los Angeles, in case you didn't know. Thanks to Sean Foster for reminding us of that. I think these new schools are going to appreciate the boost in revenue coming to the Big Ten, and I don't think they're going to have any problem figuring out how to spend it.
Yeah. I don't think that would be an issue. It's going to be what does it change for like baseball? What does it change from like softball? The spring sports. What about track? Like, where Nebraska has found themselves doing very well in some of these areas, are they able to maintain that same level of excellence in some of those other sports? It's going to get really competitive across the board now, and that's going to be a night. I'm going to love it for volleyball too, because I think their programs in the volleyball space, they'd be all right. Definitely down on the South, you're talking your UCLA's and I don't know about USC so much, but they normally compete pretty well. So we'll see how it operates across the board and how good it's going to be for the conference as a whole.
Yeah, I think for when you talk about those spring sports, baseball and softball in that conversation, even track potentially as well for outdoor season, I think there's a real opportunity for at least the Los Angeles schools to host some early season round robins, right? Get some conference games in earlier than you might. See if you can save some of these nicer weekends instead of being conference weekends. Can you get a better non-conference opponent later in the year to come to your place? Can you set aside a weekend to travel? I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity there for those Southern and Western teams to pop up and say, yeah, we'll loan you our facility for a weekend. We can host some weekends out here. Volleyball, I think that same thing where USC, not what it once was. UCLA, same thing, but there's some history there. Oregon, has been really solid for the last handful of years as well. And I suppose Washington's up there as well. Nebraska and Washington had some electric battles back in the early to mid 2000s in volleyball. So you're adding a lot of prestige in these 4 schools. And I really don't think, Strick, that there is a bad addition among the 4. There's no dead weight. There's no slackers in this group. I think all 4 of them offer something new, unique, and exciting, together, but also when taken individually.
No questions. And that's why I'll throw the question back on you at this point, because which one then for you is the most interesting get or driver out of the 4?
I think the headlines of USC, right, being just that highest profile program and university among the bunch is interesting for a lot of reasons. I think UCLA might actually be the best fit for the Big Ten in terms of culture and academics. So I'm curious to see how university leadership fits in the Big Ten consortium. I'm partial to Washington, given that I had family that used to live up there. I like that color scheme they have. Their teams have just always struck me as just kind of cool, under the radar, but cool. Some good battles with Nebraska in the past. And then obviously Oregon is going to come in with, I think, the most swagger of any of these institutions, right? Coming off of a really good football season last year. They end up 1 game away, maybe 2 from the ultimate goal. Basketball should have beat Creighton last year, so they'll fit in with Nebraska in that regard. Baseball has been to, regionals and super regionals recently. Volleyball is solid. So Oregon's going to come in, I think, feeling maybe a little bit like Nebraska did when Nebraska joined the Big Ten. Hey, here we come. Big Ten doesn't know what's ready for it. What's up? What's up? We'll see if they're able to back it up like Nebraska was. And I think USC, the glitz and the glam of Hollywood, is going to shine even brighter than Rutgers did in New York, right? There's a difference between adding Rutgers as the New York City market and USC, UCLA as colleges in the LA market. Even if they're secondary, the lights, the attention, the headlines are brighter there for those programs than they are in New York City for Rutgers. And then Washington just kind of feels distant and out of the way. But I think that's a sleeping giant of a program that if it's going to have its moments, like it's already big brother in that state compared to Washington State. But now Washington has a conference, Washington State doesn't. So especially in that Pacific Northwest, if there's a time for Washington to flex its muscle, grow, and become, without a doubt, the preeminent power there, I think now's the time for that university to get the jump start on little brother.
So at this point, before we take our break, is this something, Austin, that you think is done deezy? Is it finito? Is the Big Ten just maybe another 3 to 4 years away before any additions? And is it resume season in the Big Ten?
You never say never. You literally never say never in this era of college athletics and expansion. I would not be dumb enough to say, yep, the Big Ten's done. It's going to stay at 18 teams here for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I think that's the most likely outcome because I still think the Big Ten's top target has to be Notre Dame, and they don't look like they're budging necessarily. I don't know if the Big Ten, would want to try to mine the Big 12 for anybody. I don't think the Big Ten will be able to mine the SEC. And then it's picking between who wants who from the ACC. Does the ACC want to join the Big Ten? Does the ACC want to join the SEC? Who's Clemson's first option versus second option? Throw the Big 12 in there even for some of those ACC programs. I think the Big Ten's wish list is similar in some ways, but different in a lot of ways than the SEC's wish list for what's left of the ACC. But I just don't see the ACC going anywhere. Like the ACC is still, a decently solid third in total revenue, right? The Big 12's coming. The ACC won't be able to add as much as the Big 12 will. But for the next couple of years, the ACC is in fine standing, fine position. I don't think it's as easy as Clemson and Florida State want it to be to just blow the ACC up. So, no, the Big Ten's not done. It'll probably expand again at some point. But I would say over the next 4 or 5 years, that's where the resumes are getting passed around, but maybe not seriously poured over.
Okay. Well, there it is. We're going to take a quick break here for our second segment that will follow after this. But we always thank you for joining us here on The Block. 93.7 The Ticket. Eric Strickland, Austin Norman in the studio. We'll be right back. A few messages.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's. 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. A career in broadcasting is rewarding and exciting. Local broadcasters make a difference in people's lives every day. Join our industry. Attend the 93.7 The Ticket Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair Tuesday, August 6th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Whether you want to be on the air or behind the scenes, many exciting jobs are available right here in Lincoln. Visit our booth at the 93.7 The Ticket Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair Tuesday, August 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family night? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement. Strike three, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Clothes dryer not drying like it should? Could be your dryer vent. Call Bryant for a professional cleaning. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Allo Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're talking some Wemby here on the block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you, talking about Victor Wembanyama, having to do a little bit with the Olympics as Team France in its most recent game just escaped Japan. He had a funny image of the 7'4" Victor Wembanyama facing off with a 5'6" player from Japan as Wemby was jogging up the court. But Strick, ESPN did a survey of some of its writers, and it asked a bunch of questions about kind of predicting the future for Victor Wembanyama in the NBA and international play and so on. One of the questions that was asked was, Victor Wembanyama will be the best player in the NBA by the blank season. 16% said 2 seasons from now in 25-26. 42% said 26-27. 27-28 season got 32% of the votes. And then 28-29 season got just about 11%. Do you think Wemby is going to ascend to the throne of best player in the NBA? And if so, how quickly can he get there?
So I think he rises this year, and he's definitely in the top 5. I would say he's probably third in MVP voting, third or fourth. You know what I'm saying? It'll either be a close third or he'll be fourth. I think the reason being is I think their level of play is going to increase. The one thing that you didn't have, and regardless of what you say, he's one of the best to do it, is Chris Paul now taking over the reins and becoming the point guard. His leadership, his ability to, although he has not gotten there, and he's probably not going to get there with the Spurs, I just don't envision that kind of leap of jumping into that space in a very tough Western Conference, right? Let's just be real about it. The Western Conference is loaded, and everybody got better, to include them, but just not enough movers and shakers to basically tilt the scales in their favor. So I like that. I do believe he can get there. I think next up is probably Jokic, and not Jokic, but Doncic.
Yeah.
I think Doncic is probably next, and you can throw Shea into that sphere. And the reason being is I don't think the Oklahoma City Thunder is going anywhere, and I actually think they'll be better, and they'll test for a championship next year. I think they will. I really think they've gotten that much better on top of what they already had. And so you probably throw, and so did the Mavericks. And so this is why I can see that combination of those two really vying for it, fighting for it. I don't think Denver, I think they maybe have lost and they're missing their window, especially in the prime of Jokic, and not really getting better to me across the board. They tried to make a few moves, but it really, I don't know if it's enough in the Western Conference to take him there. Now, Jokic can be a difference maker there, but I just don't know, my bro. So I'm gonna say third or fourth, Austin.
Fair enough. All right. How many titles will Victor Wembanyama win? ESPN's writers, about a quarter of them said one title. About
I'm gonna say three.
Said two. A third said three, and four or more got 5%. You think three? How many of those three come in San Antonio?
I think he probably gets two in San Antonio, and he could be a lifer in San Antonio, but I don't know. I think there'll come a time where he's going to be such a huge name. Like he's a reserved guy. He very much carries a lot of Tim Duncan's reserved mannerisms, don't like glitz glamour. But let's be honest, Tim Duncan was yay close to going to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that really nixed the situation was the fact that they wouldn't allow his wife to be or family members to be on the plane, or he's on the way out. So it wasn't that Tim Duncan was locked and stocked in San Antonio. I think San Antonio is a great town and all, but at the same time, for the world star that you're going to be, I just don't know if San Antonio is going to be the place to be.
So do you move him east or do you keep him west?
He seems more like a West Coast guy for me. He definitely still seems to be a West Coast style guy. I think people are hightailing it. I don't know. I think it's going to take some time for stuff to mull over in LA. I could see Wembanyama, crazy as this may sound, when everything exit out, and Wembanyama, I could see Wembanyama in like Phoenix.
Okay.
I could see him in Phoenix. Like it's not LA, all the extra. But it's still sexy. It's cool. It's it's an upgrade from San Antonio. You still get the heat. It's
enough, but not too much.
Yeah, it's just right in that sweet zone for when, unless Vegas picks up a team. I can see him going to like a Vegas. I can see him going to Phoenix. I don't really see him going to Golden State. I think that's a little bit. It might identify, because to me, Golden State can kind of give you maybe some Parisian vibes a little bit, but I don't see him in LA.
I think Golden State's can be doo-doo. I think Golden State's can be doo-doo after Steph.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't think so.
To get it rebuilt. So
I don't really see that.
Let's talk MVPs then, Stricky. You brought that up a little bit ago. ESPN says he's going to win 3 MVPs. 63% of their respondents said that. Only 9 players have won 3 or more MVPs. It's Kareem, MJ, Bill Russell, your boy, Wilt, Larry Bird, Joker, Magic, and Moses Malone. That's some incredible company that Wemby would be keeping. How many MVPs do you think he settles at when it's all said and done?
I think it actually can be more than that, but because if he gets with a good team and he's surrounded with at least 2 players, now I'm talking about like, look, if he had, look, this is what I could say if he had just Darius Garland. And that's not to say Darius Garland's not, but I'm talking about a guy like him. If he had like Darius Garland and a Jalen Duren, somebody like that, or who else? A Kyle Kuzma. Like I can see him with those type of players, not necessarily over alpha, but understand who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're important. They're good, but he's him. And just play your like. If Zach LaVine could figure it out that he's not a 1, him. If a younger DeMar DeRozan, him.
DeMar was good in San Antonio. People forget.
Right? Him. If a non-attitudinal Jimmy Butler that Wemby wouldn't have to sling them long alien arms at him and knock him out. Him. You know what I'm saying? I can even see a Tyler Hero type. Somebody that's not necessarily a dominant, but can still go get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just throwing out types because I don't think it would fit with a Kevin Durant. I don't even think it'll fit with a Shea. It definitely think it'll fit with like a Doncic. Don't think it'll fit with like a Jokic. I just think that now wait, pause. It might work with a Jokic. With Jokic on the perimeter, it might work. But see, they're both perimeter guys too. So that's where there's some. But I can see pick and rolls with the both of them too. Oh my God. Like that would be danger, but it won't work because I don't think the money would make that work. But Jokic might sacrifice and be like, come over here, big fella. Like
European connection.
I'm telling you, I don't know, my boy, but actually that might be crazy. That might work.
Well, let me ask you this then, Strick. Based off of that, if you're San Antonio, do you go the Denver Nuggets path and build around Wemby as your 1 star? Like, I get it. I'm not tripping about Jamal Murray. Like, Jamal's really good, but he also takes it up a notch in the postseason, right? There's a reason that Jamal Murray's not an all-NBA guy and really a borderline all-star most years.
And then Porter Jr.
It's a bunch of role guys.
One
singular star. Is that the route San Antonio should go? Is that the route they need to go because it's San Antonio? Or can they go the route of finding another star, a second star to pair with Wemby, kind of like we've seen the last few NBA champions do?
Here's the best way I can say it. Transport Miami Heat to Wemby. You feel me?
I feel. Okay.
Miami Heat, whoever, Miami Heat, Tyler, Butler,
Duncan, Bam.
If you just put that team with him, you might win a couple in the next 3-4 years. That's really to me. That's really to me what's missing in Miami. Miami's good. They'll get you there, but they don't have like Butler is him and DeRozan are the same. Like they're not going to take you there. The expansion of Kawhi Leonard's game. Well, Jimmy can get you there, but can he get you over? Yeah, injury, say, people will make excuse for that or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I can understand that. But can he get you over? Because Jimmy in a 7-game series, he can give you 2 to 3 games. He can give you 2, but then he can give you 2 to 3 that's marginal. It's off. And if it's off, then you might end up losing. And that's kind of what happened in the series for me is if you had a consistent, Jimmy Butler's, game that he gave you in 2 or 3 of those games, you win, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Last one then, given that we are in the Olympics right now, how many Olympic medals will Wemby and France win during his basketball career? ESPN is saying 3 is the most likely
Gold?
answer.
Gold medals?
Gold,
total.
silver, or bronze, right? Because I
Yeah.
think the difference between like Wemby and Jokic is, yeah, Serbia is good and has some talent around Jokic. France is an established like program, kind of basketball quasi power, even in Europe, and they've competed on the international stage before. So I think France is better positioned to win medals with Wemby than Serbia is with Jokic.
Well, yeah, I think I might agree with you. I could see 3. I could see this year gold, silver, gold, bronze, or just a bronze. You know what I mean? Like I can see them definitely medaling this year. I can definitely see them medaling the next time because he's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he gets later, you might sneak one in.
The other part to think about, though, Strick, is how many Olympics does Wemby play in, right? Because he's playing right now because he's young. It's good for him to get that experience. I feel like he's the guy that would take playing for France pretty seriously. But if San Antonio gets to the point, again, where they're making deep playoff runs, maybe he gets banged up, nicked up, bruised up, and says, hey, I appreciate it. I would love to play for France. I just don't think my body can handle it. I'm thinking what's best for me long term. I know big guys break down, and I'm a freak of nature in that way. So as much as I'd love to play for France, I have to take this Olympic cycle off to rest, preserve my career moving forward. If Wemby plays every Olympics between now, what is he, like 20 years old, 18, 20 years old, 19? If he plays 4 or 5 Olympic cycles, then yeah, he probably gets 3, maybe 4 medals. I just don't think it's a sure thing that he plays in each Olympics just because of his body type. And if he is who we think he is in the NBA, we know that strain adds up on guys. We've seen plenty of guys say, I'd love to, but I just don't feel like I physically can right now.
I think he plays in more Olympics than he does in World Cups. So, so for me, I think he at least plays 3 Olympics. I think it's 3. I think this one, there'll be disappointment. I think the next one, and then the hunger to win the gold. And I think there'll be some younger players that'll start reaching their peak that are young right now. Like you said, in that whole spin cycle that France is spitting out some talent. I think some of their guys will get better. And that's when the hunger will pass either in the second or third year. And he'll either want to run it back. Like he'll either win it or get silver and be hungry to win, that, and to show the world that he is the one that can do that, or he'll win it and then he'll have to run it back, and then they may come up short, and then he just may be like, oh, that's cool. I did what I was supposed to do. I just ran it back. So I think that's how it's going to work out. It's either going to be he's going to be hungry for getting a gold, or he's going to be running back from getting a gold in the next cycle of the Olympics. I think they're either going to be win or be disappointed that they got a bronze or something like that, because I think they believe in their heart of hearts that they should be able to win it this year.
Yeah, I'm right there in lockstep with you. Also, if people want to bookmark this for 2028 or 2032, Nolan Traore, going to be draft eligible in a couple of years. He might be the next big thing coming out of France. Not as big as Wemby. He's a point guard, but I'm hearing good reports on him on the international scene. We'll go to break. When we get back, Bud Crawford fights. That's right. He's back in the ring. What do we expect from my champ? Stricky ain't my champ. That boy got smoked. No, I'm kidding. We're playing. Bud Crawford is the champ. We respect him repping Nebraska. We'll talk about his fight to wrap up hour 1 of On the Block.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney, or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $25.60 per hour, which grows to $30.12 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $34.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and maybe the biggest savings in the Midwest are happening right now at Koppel. When you buy a new GMC or Chevrolet anywhere else, you might be paying too much. But right now, we're going to give you over $10,000 off list or 1.9% APR on select new Chevrolets or GMCs. So please give us a shot before you buy anywhere else. Please stop in the dealership or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Must trade and finance with a roof credit.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA on Saturday, August 10th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 9 fights are scheduled for the night, including professional lightweight and welterweight bouts, and the main event of Donnie Bush versus Micah Washington in the professional welterweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the MMA fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement.
Strike 3, you're out.
Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Andy Staples sat down with Nebraska AD Troy Dandridge. Okay. And it felt like kind of a shot at early break about better times.
Breakers, are you okay with us?
Troy Dandridge says no more better times.
If we can do no more better times, let us know.
Just a shot at early break?
No.
No, I don't think so. No, But if we want, well, I'll stop. I'm done with it. I'm done with better time. We're going back to time.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block, Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you weekdays from 2 to 4 here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. If you missed something, want to listen back to something, make sure you check out podcasts wherever it is you get your podcast. Just search On the Block with Strick and Austin. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff so you don't miss an episode. Stricky, I won't be missing the Bud Crawford fight tomorrow night. He is 40-0 in his career. This isn't the headlining fight by any means, but what do you think a fight tomorrow night against Israel Madrimov means for Terrence Bud Crawford, as he, I honestly put the finishing touches on his resume and his legacy, but he's probably closer to the end than the beginning. What does tomorrow night's fight mean for him?
Well, for him, he had some guys that he was eyeing. Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman were ones that he was really looking at, but they kind of fizzled out. So he's a champion in, I want to say 4 weight classes. It's either 3 or 4, but he's a champion in 4 weight classes. He unified the belt unified the belt with the winner over Errol Spence. So he's a winner of a belt in the WBO, the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the ring. He's the welterweight champion. And this is going up multiple weight classes, but he's been a champion in multiple weight classes. So it seems to me that he's challenging himself at 154 pounds, which is junior middleweight. And that's kind of a setup as well for what he really wants, and that's Canelo. So it's a way to get up there, continue to build your resume, test the waters of the power and that leap and what you need to do. And you have the correct seasoning. You've been seasoned enough in the ring. You've seen a lot. You're going to be able to take advantage of someone who's won multiple medals as far as Olympics and world championships type of stuff, has an extensive amateur career, but hasn't been in the ring with seasoned guys like him. So he acquired the belt in a victory. It was a vacated belt. And I think it's just a good way for Bud to get in there, Austin, and just really test the power, what them body shots feel like. I don't care what sparring's different than being in there with somebody that's trying to really, really knock your head off. Like, feeling that thing from some real contact is a little bit. And we saw that one of the Charlo brothers, was talking that noise and got in there with Canelo and felt that thing, was like, wait a minute, this thing hit a little different in here. You're staying away from that thing, so I think it's just a good way to test the waters.
What are your expectations, not just for this fight, but for Bud as he moves up the weight classes? Do you think he's going to find that, maybe the welterweights were his sweet spot? Do you think he's going to be able to translate his style, his game, such as it is, up in weight? How do you think that goes for Bud?
Well, he's got to go to close it out with big money, with a big money deal. He wants to close it out like a Mayweather. He wants to close out like a Pacquiao. And he knows to get there is going to go through Canelo. And so for him, it's going to be build-ups. He'll probably acquire the title. I mean, he's 10-0-1 in title defenses. And I think he's going to make sure that he prepares himself for the end game. And the end game is to retire with a big money fight with like Canelo. He can't get to anybody else. There's no Tank Davis available to him. Don't think this Errol Spence is going to happen again, or if people want to see it. You know what I mean? I just don't think that he does. And there's really no one in that frame that would give him what he needs. And so that's why I think he's going to work his way up. So if he wins this belt, Terrence Bud Crawford is going to probably defend it. And then you'll definitely probably see at least a couple more years, I think, if not one, but definitely a couple more fights.
I was going to say what? So that's after tomorrow night, he's what, 2-3 fights away from Canelo?
Yeah, I think I think the second one, I think he'll defend the title, and then he'll either want to give Canelo, he may speed that up because he don't want Canelo retiring either. So I don't know if I can't remember when was Canelo's last fight. And did he take a loss, or did sometimes you see stuff around the internet and it be memes. So that was the thing.
All right, so Canelo is going to fight September 14th against Edgar Berlanga. His last fight was back in May of this year. He beat Jaime Munguia.
Yeah, so the one that they're trying to force him to is Benavidez. They're trying to get Canelo to go with Benavidez, but Canelo's kind of been ducking that one right now. I think for Canelo, he feels it's a high risk, really no reward fight for him because it's a high risk because Benavidez he's him, and I don't think Canelo really wants it. I think he would because I think he believes, like Charlo, that Bud would be in a similar vein. Like he won't have to really worry about his power, but I venture to say that he probably don't think that he would have to worry. And then Bud is very stronger than what people think, and he's a tactician. And so even though he may think it may be a similar, because Charlo was never a tactician, never a counter guy. He was a bully brawler type of a fighter. And that fit right with Canelo because he just wasn't going to be able to attack. But Bud is he's going to tactic. He's going to take his time. He's going to feel you, and he's going to see where his counters are. And then, beware. You think you got him, and he's, slipped something. And Gervonta's very good at that too. That's why I'm looking. The one I'm looking for next for them before we go to break is the Gervonta and Money Mayweather's got him. Shakur Stevens. I'm wanting to see that one. That's one I want to see.
Hey, if you want to see it, sign me up for it too. I'll throw a second behind that. Bud Crawford, Israel Madrimov tomorrow night. We will definitely report back on that on Monday after we see how it goes. We'll go to break. Hour 2, all about football. How many upsets might it take for Nebraska football to make the new expanded 12-team playoff? We'll get into some other teams as well. And then with the NFL Hall of Fame induction tomorrow, who of the players had the best career? We'll have that discussion as the NFL enshrinement ceremony is tomorrow. All ahead in hour 2 of On the Block, brought to you by Nepco.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Clothes dryer not drying like it should? Could be your dryer vent. Call Bryant for a professional cleaning. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Ella Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA on Saturday, August 10th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 9 fights are scheduled for the night, including professional lightweight and welterweight bouts and the main event of Donnie Bush versus Micah Washington in the professional welterweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the MMA fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
A career in broadcasting is rewarding and exciting. Local broadcasters make a difference in people's lives every day. Join our industry. Attend the 93.7 The Ticket Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair Tuesday, August 6th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Whether you want to be on the air or behind the scenes, many exciting jobs are available right here in Lincoln. Visit our booth at the 93.7 The Ticket Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair Tuesday, August 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest, and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Niederhaus Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Niederhaus's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Niederhaus Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Niederhaus Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuse.com. refuslincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back to On the Block. Yes, and more yes. It is Friday. What a beautiful day. It is very hot outside, so we're glad that you're inside, having an opportunity in the AC to check us out right here on 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. My man, it is almost time. It is quickly and yet slowly approaching. It's a little bit of both. The time is flying, but also it just seems like it's forever still left before it opens. But in all actuality, we're looking at, roughly 3 to 4 weeks when it's about to jump off. In the meantime, in between time, there's a lot of expectations, Austin Orman. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of people that have spoken out. There's a lot of naysayers, some that are saying that, the Huskers still going to continue to be mediocre. But we'll see. We'll see what they are able to put forth. Your initial thoughts on how many upsets based on the record, on the schedule that's ahead of Nebraska, who they have to face, how many upsets do you think Nebraska would need to have themselves, and those above them potentially would have to take from others to put Nebraska in a position to be able to have an extraordinary season as opposed to just a happy, lovely season?
So the numbers and the idea came from Kelly Ford on Twitter. He's done a lot of good stuff with his own kind of power rankings and data visualization. And Kelly Ford says that Nebraska would need to pull 2 upsets in order to get into the conversation to be a college football playoff at-large team, at least according to his ratings. That puts them in conversation with Oklahoma, year 1 in the SEC, with Arizona, year 1 in the Big 12.
Watch out for them. Watch out for them. Watch out.
They coming?
They look good last year, man. If they can duplicate that, or not unless they're just too far on the radar now. I actually liked their style last year. I was rooting for them. So, okay. Well, maybe because my daughter goes there. Could that be an Arizona bias? That might be.
Probably. That's okay. But yeah, other teams that Kelly Ford says would need 2 upsets in order to be in discussion for the college football playoff as an at-large, right? This is not to win the conference or anything like that, but as the at-large teams 6 through 12 here of the playoff. Oregon State, James Madison, Toledo, Fresno State, and Tulane. Kelly Ford says Nebraska needs to pull fewer upsets than schools like Auburn, Florida, Iowa State, West Virginia, Texas Tech, Washington, Maryland in that conversation. Needs to pull fewer upsets than a South Carolina or an Arkansas, even a Rutgers, right? He says we need to pull more. But the first question, I guess, is what would we mean by an upset that Nebraska would pull? Strick, if we look at the Husker schedule, I do think it's still fair to say that Nebraska has a chance to be favored in each of the first 7 games of the season. Obviously, go 1-0, right? That's the most important part here. Is there's a gnat flying around by my face. Sorry about that. But let's say that Nebraska, is favored in each of its first 7 games, at least each of the first 5, right? Ought to be favored against UTEP. Colorado coming to you, probably closer, but maybe lean Nebraska. Northern Iowa, your favorite. Illinois at home on a Friday night, probably favored Nebraska. On the road at Purdue, we'll see how the season's going. Depending on what kind of start Rutgers gets off to, I still think it's never an upset when you beat Rutgers, right? If you're a power conference team or even some of the non-power conference teams. And Nebraska should be favored at Indiana. So there's the first 7 games. Obviously, Ohio State would be an upset. So there's
at Ohio State. There
on
you
the
go.
road
That's one.
at the Shoe. So yeah, that would absolutely qualify as an upset. Hosting UCLA, no, doesn't qualify as an upset. Again, I don't think UCLA is going to be as atrocious as everyone thinks. I just don't think they're going to be all that good either. So Nebraska should be favored in that one. On the road at USC, that would be an upset. Nebraska is not going to be favored. Nebraska will be the underdog out at the Coliseum. I'd be curious to see if Nebraska is favored or not by the time we get to the 11th game of the regular season against Wisconsin. Yeah, if you look at these power ratings from Kelly Ford again, he has Wisconsin and Nebraska right next to each other, both needing to pull 2 upsets in order to be in the college football playoff at large conversation. He has another graphic that came out just yesterday. Regular season wins required to be in the college football playoff at large discussion. He has Wisconsin needing 9 wins to be in the conversation, but Nebraska at 10 wins to be in the conversation. So they can pull the same number of upsets, but Nebraska probably needs a bonus win just based off of, recent reputation, I think, mostly, and also strength of schedule. And then Nebraska and Iowa Strick. Nebraska won't be favored, not going to Iowa. And I really, unfortunately, think, for Husker fans, it stinks to say, but I think Iowa could be in place for a special year. I think that Iowa has the schedule set up well. I think their offense takes, even if it's just a moderate step forward, the defense can take a quarter step back, and Iowa can challenge to win 9, 10, maybe even 11 games with the schedule that they got handed to them. So if Nebraska needs to pull off 2 upsets, obviously beating Ohio State would be the biggest upset Nebraska can pull. Going on the road to USC, we'll see how their season goes. They have a tough road ahead of them, Stricky. USC is not in great position year 1 in the Big Ten. And then Iowa. So I think if Nebraska is going to pull 2 upsets to get into the college football playoff conversation, I think the 2 most important games for that are at Ohio State and at Iowa.
The thing is when you look at the schedule right now, as you just did, you kind of went through it. The first 7 games, you ran through it. We saw where the danger zones were or the potential rough patches could be. Give me an early prediction, like before camp, before field, before any first games that we can put our eyes on across the conference. Not only Nebraska, but across the conference. Give me your thoughts just based on the schedule. Sauter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can pull it up. Pull up the Husker schedule. And I want your early predictors of what you think Nebraska's record could be. Last year, I said 7-5.
That was on the table. That was
right there in front of us, my boy. And it wasn't a crazy number, but it was right there in front of us, and we tricked it off. So I'm not going to be mad about it. But where are we looking at this year? Talk to me.
I don't know. I could see this team being anything again. I hope I'm not buying too much into any off-season Kool-Aid or anything. I mean, I don't think it's out of the question to ask Nebraska to go 7-5, but to go winless in November 2 years in a row would be problematic. I mean, if you win 1 in November, even if it's UCLA, that's a step up from last year when you had bowl eligibility on your fingertips. You just couldn't quite palm it and bring it in at 5-3. Nebraska, it's no guarantee that they're 7-0. Going to Ohio State. I think that would be pretty shocking if Nebraska was 7-0 heading to Columbus. But
think about that. If you're freaking 7-0, just think about how crazy that could be going into the shoe. Even if you lose, if you just stick your sack up 2 more games, you know what you're looking at? You're looking just on the outside of maybe the Big Ten championship, Austin. And like you're saying, you could be knocking on a door for a New Year's Day ball, whatever. You're just on the outside. Go ahead. I mean, finish your thought, but it blows me away that if that can happen, how crazy Lincoln and Memorial Stadium and the state would be if they came into that game 7-0.
Oh my gosh. You see, so this is where I kind of go back and forth on just these numbers from Kelly Ford specifically, because he says that Nebraska needs 10 wins, 10 in the regular season to be in the conversation, right? Probably on the fringes of the college football playoff at large discussion, but that Nebraska also needs 2 upsets to happen. So let's do the math here on this one, Strick. 10 wins, and of those 10, 2 of them have to be upsets. That tells me that Kelly Ford thinks Nebraska will not be favored at USC, will not be favored at Wisconsin, and or will not be favored
Ohio
against
State.
a team like Rutgers, right? No, I'm counting Ohio State and Iowa as the 2 losses.
As
right?
the 2 losses. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the 2 that I feel the most strongly that Nebraska might not be the better team in. Probably won't be the better team in. Obviously, it's college football. Anything can happen any given day. But just for argument's sake, right, work with me here that you already have 2 losses on the board for Ohio State and Iowa. So among your other 10 games, you have to win 8 of them, and you have to upset 2 people, right, according to power ratings or, AP poll ranking or whatever. I think the most likely options then are Rutgers, who's getting a little, dark horse under the radar hype, Wisconsin, who has absolutely owned you in the series, right? The games haven't always been blowouts, but Wisconsin's, gotten wins. And then USC. I have no idea what to make about USC, but I would be surprised if Nebraska is favored headed out there. So if you're at 8 wins and then you add wins against USC and Wisconsin to the table, that to me is probably it's a top 20 resume. Is it a top 15 resume? Probably not. But you're at least starting to work your way into that conversation by beating a couple of teams that right now ahead of the season, I don't think Nebraska is expected to beat.
Yeah, I think I can see that and I can understand that. So we've identified the Huskers at this point, right? Let's look up, because now they're in the Big Ten. And I want to understand the mulligan part of it, because obviously they're giving a little better mulligan option for Ohio State. How Penn State continues to get mulligan options on that level absolutely blows my mind, to be honest. And Iowa finds itself in there. And you're seeing something, but I've always saw something. And I could never understand how Iowa continually gets there and gets their head blown off when it's pause. That's not a connotation I don't want y'all to be thinking, but they get beat bad. Let me say that. And in sometimes in these bowl games, but Oregon, they're finding themselves in a place in rare air that we haven't seen from them probably over the last 5-6 years, where they were getting a lot more deference, and it seems to be returning. Is it because of the move into the Big Ten, or is it just that they're, everybody's weighing everything into account to include the NIL and just the talent level and staffing and so forth and so on? Like, what are they weighing this out of, you think?
Yeah, so the mulligans just in general, right? Or how many games can you say, whoops, my bad, slipped up, and be able to, still be in that conversation, right? Georgia gets a lot of benefit of the doubt. Back-to-back champions a couple years ago. Outside looking in last year, they had a legit argument to be in the Final Four anyways. A lot of preseason hype as well with the recent reputation and all of that. A 9-3 Georgia would feel like a disappointment. Georgia does have a pretty tough schedule, though. And so, again, this is just according to Kelly Ford. Georgia would at least be in the conversation for the playoff with 3 losses. And that's the only team that he says is in that conversation. I don't know how he only gives Bama 2 mulligans this year. I feel like Bama, might even need to pull an upset. It'll be a talented team, but that's a lot of pressure, I think, to put on a guy in the biggest job of his life, replacing the guy that he's replacing in DeBoer and then Saban. Oregon with 2 is interesting to me. Oregon's road through the Big Ten is it's tough, but not like brutal, not killer. I mean, they play Ohio State, but they host them at Autzen Stadium. They go to Michigan in early November. I think Oregon's the better team than Michigan. They haven't proven as much as Michigan, historically, and especially not last year. But I like Oregon more than I do Michigan this year. They get to host Maryland. They have to go to Wisconsin. Like, Wisconsin has one of the tougher schedules in the country, right? Wisconsin didn't necessarily get it easy. Oregon doesn't have it easy, but it's also not terrible. Hosting Boise State week 1 will be interesting. Week 2, sorry. Week 3 on the road in Corvallis against Oregon State. We'll see what that program's like with Jonathan Smith gone. So Oregon would probably get in the college football playoff at 10-2. They might get even a little bit more respect than they deserve. But even like Penn State getting a mulligan, Strick, I don't know if I agree with that, because that's a program that needs to prove it can beat teams that it can't.
That
right?
part.
That it hasn't beat
At
recently.
least 0.
Right.
At least even par, but not a mulligan. That's what threw me off. I was like, I had to give the side eye to that.
Right. And I don't also understand Iowa getting a mulligan either,
Right.
because of how Charmin soft their schedule is. Right.
Yeah.
Iowa and Penn State are going to be good. They sure as heck ought to be good if you look at the talent, what they have returning. But neither one of those programs over the last handful of years have been in serious college football playoff consideration. They haven't pulled these upsets. So I don't understand maybe giving them a mulligan. They're in the competition to be the 4th Big Ten team in the field, maybe even the 3rd, depending on how you view it. But to say that those teams get a do-over, whoops, we'll give you this pass, I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I would rather give Ole Miss a mulligan than I would Penn State or Iowa, given that the schedule they play. But Penn State and Ole Miss are very similar in that there's been a lot of hype around them. They haven't always delivered it at the highest level.
Here's the last thing before we take a break, Austin. You ready? Is Michigan State this doo-doo brown because they are getting no love, no respect? Is the program just DOA, dead on arrival?
What program was that, sorry?
Michigan State.
Michigan State.
They get no love. Michigan State get no love. Like, they don't even barely show up in it. They have a lot of needs of getting upsets.
Michigan State.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I haven't put a lot into looking at Michigan State. I mean, their head coach, Jonathan Smith, they bring Aiden Childs with them. I don't know if I could tell you another thing about that program. I don't know. Strick, it feels like that I trust Jonathan Smith to do a good job in East Lansing. Do I think he does the Mel Tucker and hits on everybody in the transfer portal and has a magical year in the first couple years? No, I don't. But I think that Jonathan Smith is more in the Mark D'Antoni, mold, where he'll be able to build Michigan State up into something at least respectable, if not better. I think that's his personality. I think that's the climb that he showed at Oregon State, and it wouldn't shock me if he can replicate it there. I'm not going to take Michigan State too seriously this year, probably not next year as well, but I do trust Jonathan Smith and his track record. So in a few years, that's when I think they'll start getting interesting to me.
There it is. There it is. Austin Orman dropping it like it's hot on the block today. Yes, I love it, Austin. That was a really good take today, man. We really appreciate you guys once again. We've got a few more segments left, but we'll come back. And on the next segment, we'll talk a little bit about, the NFL Hall of Fame. The induction is going down on tomorrow. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about who we had some of the best careers on that inductee ceremony. Who we feel about it. Who you feel about it. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives. Print broadcasting is rewarding and exciting. Local broadcasters make a difference in people's lives every day. Join our industry. Attend the 93.7 The Ticket Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair Tuesday, August 6th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Whether you want to be on the air or behind the scenes, many exciting jobs are available right here in Lincoln. Visit our booth at the 93.7 The Ticket Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair Tuesday, August 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Nieder House Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Nieder House's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Nieder House Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Nieder House Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuselincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day? It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup, and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
I believe every child can succeed. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Research shows that children do a better job in school when parents are supportive and involved. In Nebraska, parents have a long tradition of being involved in our public schools. That's one of the reasons our students consistently score in the top 10 nationally on standardized tests. Working together, we can help every child succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Austin Norman here in studio. Eric Strickland getting ready for his big day next week, getting ready to hit the road. Talking some NFL Hall of Fame. Before we do that, you just heard our prize pickup little spot there. If you want 4 tickets and a parking pass to tonight's Lincoln Salt Dogs game, swing on by 1040 O Street. Come pick up some tickets. Just let me know that you heard us mention them. I have them sitting right here in the studio with me. First pitch tonight, a 7:05 first pitch against the Kansas City Monarchs. No, not those Kansas City Monarchs, but the reincarnated Kansas City Monarchs, such as they are. So again, if you want tickets to tonight's game, just swing by the station, say, hey, heard you talking about Salt Dogs tickets. We'll give you 4 and a parking pass for tonight's game. We will have a trivia question, though, to give away some tickets to tomorrow's game. Tomorrow, also against the Kansas City Monarchs, 6:05 first pitch. Here is the question. How many punt return touchdowns did Devin Hester have in his career? How many punt return touchdowns did Devin Hester have in his career? Stricky, you're muted, my guy. You buzzing in?
Do I get to answer?
No. Next line.
Man, my I had the quickest buzzer, man. There's no way you can deny me.
You're going to be out of town. You don't even want the tickets. We're not like
oh, shoot.
Yeah,
oh,
good try, though. We'll get to that answer here in just a little bit when we talk about Devin Hester. But, Strick, the class for the NFL Hall of Fame 2024, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis. You have Randy Gradishar, and then also Steve McMichael. Anything stand out to you about any one of those players going into the Hall this weekend?
I think the one that had the sneaky best career because of their durability, longevity, was able to do it late in their career and still like 12th in their 12th season was able to get a Pro Bowl nod. And you knew he was good, but you sneakily didn't understand that, consistently over a 10-year period, you're looking at somebody that maybe, even though he didn't lead it, like he didn't have all the accolades, but as far as sack numbers, but then his sack totals blow you away when you look at it. Retiring with the third in the most sacks. He's the only player to also record 150 sacks and 10 interceptions, 4 of them for TDs. Like that's the balance you had with him. And that man's name is Julius Peppers. And I know you wasn't going to like it just because he came from North Carolina. And this is why I waited to say his name. So I didn't see the nod on your face and the sadness and the wrinkles in your cheeks because of the fact that I picked Julius Peppers.
Hey, game recognized game. When I look at this list, Stricky, it's really hard to argue with Julius Peppers for all those reasons, right? You look at the numbers, you look at the longevity. I mean, 14 years in the NFL is pretty good. Pro Bowl, that last year, second to last year when he was a member of the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. I will always think of him as a Carolina Panther. He's still their all-time sacks leader. But
97.
97 of them, right? To get 10 interceptions and return 4 of them for touchdowns as a defensive end, that's crazy. That we might not see that for a long time.
Right.
And I think that just shows the athleticism, right? We know he was a basketball player in college that made the move to the football field, to the gridiron in the NFL. That's a tough transition to make, and Julius Peppers made it look easy.
That's a fact. And that's why I picked it. Listen, there's a lot of me that wanted to look at Dwight Freeney because he was like a freaking Mighty Mouse out there. He looked like Barry Sanders on the defensive side of things. But that freaking spin move was just it was like Reggie White's club move. You know, it was just one of those moves that when you implemented it on your Madden or whatever it was, man, you had Dwight Freeney coming off the edge, man. You were looking at getting what you needed in the sack department. And so he's your boy, man. He come out of Indianapolis. To me, man, he, you know, when he was on anything turf related, there was just nothing you can do with that man, and he was solid.
You talk about Clyde Drexler always going right. You know Dwight Freeney's going to spin on you. You know he's going to spin, but because of, like you said, his unconventional stature, right? Not the biggest guy, not the tallest, not the biggest wingspan. He still was able to get into guys, get underneath and inside of their arms, spin around him, spin through him, whatever, and get to the quarterback, right? Dwight Freeney, I don't know if he was ever as, like not a top 5 most dominant pass rusher.
Right.
But you mentioned the iconicism of that spin move that he developed. You really pair him with Robert Mathis on the other side of the line for Indy. Freeney on the left, Mathis on the right. You have June at linebacker. And you mentioned Barry Sanders. How about another
Bob Sanders?
Bob Sanders.
Bob Sanders.
From Iowa, unfortunately, but that dude was a human missile. And Dwight Freeney, you know, I still think led that charge, but he was just, I guess, the tip of the spear for those Colts defenses that weren't great, but were good enough to get the Colts on the board in the Super Bowl once during his career. There might not be a better specialist in NFL history than Devin Hester. The number of returns that he piled up, we had 2 people in with the correct answer on the text line. 14 punt return touchdowns. By far the NFL leader. Oh, and by the way, he also had 5 kickoff return touchdowns. And it also says an additional return touchdown. So I assume he even took a missed field goal back to the house at some point as well. Devin Hester was electrifying. Kickoffs are when you get up and you're just breaking your way back to your seat with your refill of food, your refill of drink, whatever it is. But Strick, you couldn't turn away from the TV if the Chicago Bears were returning a kickoff. Devin Hester turned the return into an art form.
Can we just get the spirit of Devin Hester just to take flight? Since we're going to memorialize you, Devin Hester, into the Hall of Fame, baby. We happy for you. You know what I'm saying? We're excited for you, my guy. We're grateful for the time and the work. But just send your spirit. Just let him take flight and have a memorial in Memorial Stadium. Whoever it is that's returning punts and kicks for the Nebraska, just give us something, baby. Just give us something, because we've had nothing as of late. We need just a little something so we can start turning fields and getting more opportunities and not have to work so hard just to get to the other side. Just give us something. Send a spirit. Send your spirit down.
It goes without saying that it wasn't just Devin Hester, right? He had good return units, good blockers, a good special teams coach for sure. But I'm with you, Stricky. Why not, if you're Nebraska, throw $500,000 at Devin Hester to say, hey, come be our second special teams coach, right? All you have to do is focus on the returns. And maybe he's like the Michael Jordan of the return game, to where it wouldn't work out for him as a coach because it's just so natural. It's so instinctive to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to communicate it. But it wouldn't hurt to get a guy like that in the building. I'd throw a couple hundred G's at him and say, hey, give us a year. Show us what you got. You know, we're trying anything right now.
As bad as your special teams has been, anything could be upward mobility at this point. And why not, bro? Like, let's throw the chia pet in the water and hopefully it sprouts. You know, just throw the chia pet of Nebraska football into the water and let something sprout out of it. We just need something to sprout out of it.
Hey, I feel that. A little bit about Andre Johnson, right?
Love him.
Wide receiver. I suppose he also played for Houston as well. Sorry, Jay, with that one. Andre Johnson, Strick, was great. You can't question the numbers, right? Half of his seasons, he put up 1,000 yards. 3 of them, he went for 1,500. Pro Bowl guy in his second year, 2-time All-Pro player. Only his 3rd year on the Hall of Fame ballot to get into Canton. He has the numbers. He has the legacy. And Strick, I still think we underrate Andre Johnson. He feels a little like Mike Evans is kind of in that spirit, right? Bigger bodied guy, Mr. Consistency through and through. Andre Johnson was really good, but given some of the other wide receivers that he played with, even in his own division, right? With like a Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, guys like that. I think Andre Johnson is a deserving Hall of Famer and maybe even a little underrated for the era that he came out of.
Agreed. And let's be honest about this. I don't have a problem with Matt Schaub. To me, was pretty middle of the road type of quarterback. Wasn't anything special about him. Yes, he could get there. He can make the throws. Just pretty middle of the road quarterback. To do what he did, he was like your Larry Fitzgeralds and the guys really that was not necessarily had a whole bunch of excellence on the other side across from him. Definitely wasn't like a T. Higgins and what's my other guy's name for Cleveland?
Amari?
Not Cleveland for Cincinnati.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Okay, wasn't like them two. He didn't really ever have, I don't think, a guy like at that caliber on it. He was just always the guy. Twice with Matt Schaub going over 1,500 yards. Come on, man. Like, that's excellent. He wasn't a blow you off the top type of guy either. He was very Jerry Rice's-ish, where Jerry wasn't ever a breakneck speed guy, but on the field, he just seemed to have another level. And that the physicality of Andre, as well as just not necessarily, but just he created space and he had on-field speed that just all of a sudden you look up and he's got a couple steps on you. And it's not that that's what he actually has. He wasn't Randy Moss. Like if Randy Moss had 5 yards of depth, he was by you. Like Randy knew if he could close the gap to 5 yards, he started putting his hand up. He's like, you know what it is. Like throw the rock because I'm by this dude. Like he's not going to be able to stay with me. He didn't have that, but he could get alongside you. And for some reason, Andre Johnson would just end up with a step or two on you. And then boom, he's got the ball. And he was so physical and so strong that, his rack could happen. And he was good. He was just really solid, man. I actually liked watching him as a young man.
Hey, you mentioned that physical play. I had forgotten the shout out to the blockheads on the Sartor Heyman text line at 402-464-5685. His fight with Cortland Finnegan. That's a name I had completely forgotten, where Finnegan's jamming him at the line of scrimmage. Johnson rips Finnegan's helmet off, throws him down, and starts going to town on him. You weren't going to punk Andre Johnson by any means. And then the last guy that I think we need to talk about here before we go to break, Patrick Willis. Linebacker's a tough position, Stricky. We see so many linebackers have to retire before their time. Patrick Willis certainly falls in that category. 8 years with San Francisco, Defensive Rookie of the Year, 174 tackles as a rookie in 2007 is pretty incredible. 100 tackles in 6 of his 8 years, 97 in one of them. 3 straight trips to the NFC title game for the 49ers. It took him 5 tries, but I think Patrick Willis deserves to be in this Canton Hall of Fame.
So there we go. I actually don't disagree because I would agree with that. Let me just throw this at you while we go to break. And it's not necessarily a long answer, but does Luke Kuechly fit in that same? Because I think Luke Kuechly was a phenomenal linebacker. Does he have enough time? He retired before his time as well. But man, I'm telling you, he was on par with like a Patrick Willis to me as far as talent and abilities and getting the job done at the position.
Oh, I am absolutely with you. 5-time All-Pro for Luke Kuechly, All 2010 team by the Hall of Fame, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year by the AP, by Sporting News. Yeah, I think Luke Kuechly is absolutely in that category. There was not a
3 years, 3 years, after three tries or 2.
Ooh,
I don't think he's a first ballot. I don't think they're going to make him first ballot, but I think maybe 3.
I think it's unfortunate, too, that Luke Kuechly had to retire when he did. I mean, it's good for Nebraska in that it gives Levante David a little bit more shine, because I think Luke Kuechly was so good, he maybe even overshadowed Levante David a little bit, which is a little bit unfortunate. But, yeah, there's a lot there. Luke Kuechly was a stud. Patrick Willis, his 3rd try. If it took Willis 3 tries, I think it should probably take Kuechly 3 tries to get in as well. But as always, it depends on, who else is on the ballot with them. So Stricky, we'll let you go. I'll just cross it over with Jay real quick. We'll call it a day. Safe travel, safe flight. We'll talk to you from your destination on Monday, my guy.
Love. See y'all on Monday. All right.
That's Strick. I'm Austin. We'll cross it over with Old School to wrap up On the Block next.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Play ball! Ready to unleash the fun with Salt Dogs Baseball? Join us at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed games running through August. Stay ahead of the game by visiting saltdogs.com for updates on exciting promotions, giveaways, and events happening each week. Experience a change-up from your typical family night, or make it a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers.
Strike 3, you're out!
Don't miss the fun happening all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day? It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup, and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bureau's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bureau's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big Red pride to Memorial Stadium, Saturday night, August 3rd. That's Huskers.com/tickets. Brought to you by Husker Athletics and 1890 Nebraska. Winning tradition, future success.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are wrapping up On the Block. Austin Norman with you here. To my left, it'll be your right on stream here momentarily. Husker Hall of Famer, NFL veteran, Jay Foreman. Jay, welcome in for the crossover.
What's popping?
We were just talking some NFL Hall of Fame, Strick and I. Mm-hmm. And the last question we had, I think, he was a linebacker or probably overqualified to answer this one. Patrick Willis gets in on his third try.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kuechly, is he in the same conversation of Patrick Willis for linebackers who retired early? If it took Patrick Willis 3 tries, should it take Luke Kuechly 3 tries? How do you view those two guys?
About the same. I'm a fan of both. And I think generally, a lot of people put a big emphasis on first ballot. Now, obviously, that's like the Jerry Rices, in my opinion, Randy Mosses, Warrens, guys that were like Dion's that were changed the game. Luke Kuechly deserves to get in. It's weird because Steve Young was first ballot. I definitely view him as first ballot. I think it's just all timing based on who's available, but he's going to get in. They're both the same. I hated that they both retired, in my opinion. Or not, granted, it was a little bit of definitely injuries for Luke because he was having those really bad concussions when, the one game where you saw, like, if you have a big concussion, it like changes your emotions. Remember, you start crying. Yeah. And then, it was a coaching change, regime change. He's a veteran. He didn't want to go anywhere. Wear and tear on your body, just how hard he trained in that. Same thing with Patrick Willis. I would have liked to see Patrick Willis play a little bit more. I think he still has some more in the tank, but both of them deserve to get in. I'm happy Patrick Willis gets in. I think the best duo, besides me and Jamie Sharper when we were really doing it, but I'm just joking. Linebackers I've ever watched, and I watch all 22 tapes all the time of linebackers. I love it. They need it. I wish they could do it for college, but obviously there's way more, colleges to do it. I've never seen the two play like like Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. Never. I remember I went
great individually, but together even another level.
Oh, they're both off the charts. I watched them. I remember it's either 4 or 6 games according to my grading system without a minus.
Woo.
And I used to grade it like super factors where you do something that's like, all right, yeah, you got one-on-one inside pass rush against a running back where he has to step up and block you, and you create pressure on the quarterback. Well, Navarro, I'll never forget, it was San Fran was on the road against the Rams. I think it was a dome game. I think they still were at St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
It was last year, I think. He rushed. Well, Patrick Willis already had a big third down stop and interception. He rushed. And it was, matter of fact, it was when I think Troy Smith was the quarterback. Remember, he got into it with Mike Singletary? Mm-hmm. Navarro Bowman rushed, did a pirouette, like 360, hit the quarterback, sack, forced fumble. There you go. But those two together are pretty special.
Another guy that you have some familiarity with, Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
Quiet is kept. I'm not going to say Andre wasn't great. He very clearly was. But I do think, Jay, that maybe we underrate Andre Johnson a little bit. I think that, 7 of his 14 seasons, over 1,000 yards, went over 1,500 3 times as well. But he kind of feels like, it might not be the best comparison, but it's the one that comes to mind for me. kind of Mike Evans-ish, where he goes about his business. He's dependable. He's reliable.
I was just about to say
physical specimen, but not like overwhelming like speed or strength necessarily. Just this is the total package and under the radar steady.
To be honest with you, I'm going to push back on that last part you said. They are physically overwhelming.
Okay.
Mike Evans is 6'5", former basketball player.
True.
Remember he was with he was best friends with the guy that we had. We had him out of transfer portal. Came from Texas Tech. They were really good friends.
Petaway.
Yeah, Petaway. 10 miles. He was a great player himself. But Mike, he's 6'5", runs a 4.3, got a stupid vertical, really consistent, physically overpowering.
But you don't think of him that way.
Don't think of it that way because he doesn't have. And this is weird. Like when he goes out there, you see him. He's like, yeah, he's tall, but you don't realize he's 6'5", and then he has cleats on, so he's probably about 6'6", 6'7", and he's big, 225, right?
Thick, yeah.
But then you look at the opposite, he's Tyreek Hill. You're like, oh, well, this dude is quick as he's like a water bug out there, and that's not even giving him enough credit. Then same with Andre. I'm gonna tell this story. I'll never forget. First of all, I saw Andre and what he did to us in the Rose Bowl. I was like, man, I was like, this dude can't be that big, that strong, and that fast. My dad knows the wide receiver coach down there very well. So one of the few picks that we got right when I was there, we drafted Andre Johnson.
Number 3.
We're going to get David Carr some help. About 3 or 4 years later, we're going to go ahead and do this, right? Legit. And I'll never forget this. We were in mini camp, and they had a rookie / mini camp like a couple days before, and they don't really do it. We worked out and walked past, and they're just kind of getting used in there. He walked through like where we practice. There's gates that kind of go open when the players, it's kind of like a driveway or garage. He walked through, and I remember talking to Sharper. I was like, "That's a dude right there." Just the way he moved, and then from the first practice to the last time we played together, and then obviously many years after, he was just doing work. Never said much. Showed up every day to work, but when he talked, it was like E.F. Hutton. Everybody listened. So it's and he's a great teammate, very caring teammate, very tough on you though, right? Will challenge you once you because he prepares. He's accountable to himself. He's everything you want, and his stats were off the chains. He was leading. I remember he was leading the league in receptions when Houston was horrible because I was done playing then, and they were talking about NFL Network. And I'm a pretty decent sized dude, and he's legit. Like when he was playing 225, and he was at least 4.3 flat, and he would go. And the thing is, he would go from 0 to top speed like that, and he was not looking to run out of bounds. And the thing is, Andre is like, I remember we went and we had this like golf thing, and he came out. It was funny as heck. It was him and Jabbar Gaffney, so 2 Florida receivers. Jabbar's dad and my dad played together, so I knew Jabbar. Just meeting him and stuff. You knew him. And Jabbar's funny because Jabbar he'd wear. They came out there in basketball shorts, right? Like they were at &1. So Jabbar would be like, man, I hit my ball over. We were betting, but not a lot. It was like $5 a hole. He would drop it out of his pocket. I ain't say nothing because he's my boy, right? And it was a hot, humid Houston day. I'll never forget. And I don't think Andre had ever played golf or at least even tried. My man Andre was out there. He had his hat on. I'll never forget this, in a white towel. And he was like, yo, he's like, it's so hot out here. He's like, do we got to finish 18? It was funny, man. It's just a funny story. But once you get him out there in the game, man, he's like a totally different dude. He tried to annihilate people.
Killer?
Oh, yeah. You seen what he did to Cortland Finnegan.
I completely forgot about that. Text line brought it up, and I'm so glad I watched that back.
Well, the thing is like...
You ain't going to punk him.
Oh, no. No, and here's what sets him off, though. This is really what Charles told me. His wide receiver coach in college sets him off. And this is what he said to him before the Nebraska game. And if you call him soft, or if they think you're soft, he goes into like a whole nother world. And that's what Cortland... I know Cortland was trying to challenge him, but like there's just certain guys there's a
way you go about it.
You just know there's certain guys in the league you just don't mess with. Like if I'm going against Larry Allen, hey man, good job, man. You good? How's the family? He ain't gonna say nothing. But if there's a chance that he doesn't put me 6 feet into the ground,
leaves you at 4.
Yeah, It's just let me just a little above the surface, a little speed, but I would greatly appreciate it because I like to have all my faculties together. But Andre was a great teammate, great dude too.
And I got to ask you about my boy, Dwight Freeney, right? Going in the Hall of Fame as well. I mean, I know that you played on defense, both of you. So when you were on the field, you weren't hearing your offensive linemen talk about him. They had to run right back out. But I'm sure in the locker room, they had plenty to say about Dwight Freeney.
I remember, you know what's funny? I remember he got drafted. He was from Syracuse.
Yep.
And, he's a little shorter. I think, they got him listed at 6'2". He's about 6'1.5", 6'1". And, and he ran like a 4.4 40, 4.5 flat 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and I knew the Colts were kind of trying to change their defense. I was like, how is this dude going to play? But man, I mean, you talking about a get off? I mean, there was times he was running. I won't tell you the offensive line tackles. Like, he was past him and the dude was still in his stance. And then once he put a spin move in, then he played with power. He had a couple good.
Got Mathis along there a couple years later.
And that was kind of like the prototype now. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of undersized defensive ends getting chances. So let's fast forward a little bit where kind of my career comes into it. So there was a defensive end named Corey Moore that played at Virginia Tech. I think he might have had close to 20 tackles or 20 sacks because he was close to Bruce Smith's record, who went to Virginia Tech. The knock on, because Corey was like 5'11", 225, strong, tough dude. He's a lawyer, by the way, great dude. Nice. A great teammate. But even though we drafted him in the third round, they didn't give him enough chance to prove himself as a pass rusher because he was just a little short. Well, then a few years later, here comes Dwight Freeney. Here comes Mathis, right? Because Mathis is going to be down the road, but if things go right and say he gets involved with the Colts and media, you could see him getting in right now. Yeah. And he had a great career. And you see a lot of undersized guys get chances. And there's probably been some before. Obviously, James Harrison. Mm-hmm. His path is a little different. Dwight Freeney was first round pick. James Harrison was cut numerous times, so forth and so on. But it takes right timing, right organization, right team, right head coach. Boom, you got a great player, and he definitely deserves, to be in Canton.
We're going to get out of here now because we do still have 2 full hours of old school. But
do we?
We do. Hour 2 will be on stream. Royals at 5, so.
Okay. So we got to get busy. So we're going to talk about the 30 teams that can possibly reach the postseason, according to
the final 12.
The 4-letter network. So we're gonna leave out the guys that probably most likely get in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lane
Kiffin.
Hey, boy.
You're on notice.
Lane Train. Bring it. That'll be Old School. DP and JL be along for the ride as well. Don't go anywhere. Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, is next. A huge thank you to Nebco for sponsoring On the Block. Check them out at nebcoinc.com to start your new career today. Also, shout out Good Sense. They came through. Good Sense Friday, as always. They've got 5 Lincoln locations. If you need some supper plans on your way home, listen to Old School. Pick up some Good Sense. Don't go anywhere. Old School's next. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate